Welcome to the More Life Podcast, where creatives, problem solvers, and entrepreneurs talk about squeezing more out and finding meaning in this crazy thing we call life. Let's dive in. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the More Life Podcast. I'm your host if you're new around here. My name is Bart Anestin. I'd love for you to hit that like and that subscribe button. If you're liking what you're hearing, if you consume the content, if you are somebody who is new here, then hey, check us out on YouTube. That's probably the best place for you to get all of our YouTube videos. Our podcast is up on there, all of our short clips if you want quick digestible information. And check us out on our blog as well. We produce tons and tons of great work on our blog. And it might be able to help you and assist you in your business if you lead a team, if you market a company. We talk about marketing and design. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into our episode this week. This week, we're talking about your personal presence, your personal brand versus your corporate brand. And like many things, when you see just me on a podcast episode, it's usually because it's something that I've been thinking about. You might be able to piece together some type of theme between the last couple of these solo episodes that I've done. In terms of that, I've been thinking a lot about our medium to like small term goals to medium goals. Ali Abdaal, who I really admire, has a great description of your short-term goals versus your medium goals versus your long goals. Short-term goals are like 1 year. What am I going to do in the next 12 months? How do I want to finish this year? Maybe you do some goal setting or planning or concept planning at the beginning of the year. These are the things that I want to accomplish by the end of the year. Your medium-sized goals are 3 to 5 years away. These are the things that are like big projects that I want to be able to achieve. And then from there you have your long-term goals. Long-term goals is like legacy stuff. What do I want to do before I die? What do I want to be known for? What are the things that I want to accomplish that quote unquote would be on my headstone? For me, I've been spending a lot of time in the medium goals, okay? A little bit in the small goals, but the medium goals. What does that look like for me specifically? And also, there's a hint of the long-term goals. What's the end game here? How does this all play out? How does this all work? Is this something that's going to be able to help me in my future? Is this something I'm going to be remembered for? We're living in a very precarious time to say the least, in terms of what's happening on the news around the world and the advancements in technology, and apparently we have aliens and no one seems to care, and it seems like it's a big decoy, and AI is going to take over my job, and I'm human, just like hopefully you are also human listening to this, and it takes a little bit of focus, or effort rather, to stay focused. It takes a little focus to be focused, and to kind of cut through the noise, and I'm trying really hard to do that because there could easily be a frantic reaction, and I don't want to consume that or engage with that. I want to stay as clear, number one, to my purpose, and for me, I spoke about this maybe a few months ago. What are the things that I would consider to make me happy? And then number two, I want to stay really clear and focused on the task at hand. There are 3 big aspects to that: your relationships, your health, and your work, right? Like, these are the things that matter to me: my wife and kids, my physical, mental, emotional health, the work that I do. This is kind of like the task at hand. This is what being a man and a father means to me. So in dealing with that, I've been seeing shifts, or I've been experiencing shifts in the business, in my personal understanding of where the marketplace is. I love what I do. I love how I get to do it. It's more now of a matter of what's sustainable and what allows me the most freedom to be able to move forward when the time comes to shift, because we're living in that very aforementioned precarious time. There is a lot going on, and I don't want to be sensational with inaccurate reportings or ideas that I might be having, but at the same time, I want to be prepared, if that makes sense. And I don't say that from a sense of fear, because I think fear is what's going to lead you down a path of destruction where you kind of self-implode. And I want to be clear. That's more than anything what I want. I want clarity above all to kind of help me
be in tune with what I really want. And we've talked about this again. I know I'm saying this a lot, specifically in the last couple episodes of the solo episodes, that I still think there's a lot of potential for Creative Partner, and we're just getting started. At the same time, I understand the world that we live in and the potential recession slash aliens slash World War III, whatever, pick one, also means that I need to be prepared for nimbleness. You can't be nimble when you're far. You can't expect to be nimble when you're far away from your purpose. All that to say, I have been reading and learning and thinking about what it looks like for a personal brand versus a corporate brand, and how do I want to leverage my name and my presence online for financial gain. Okay, I'm not trying to be some higher purpose type of person here. I understand it's for financial gain, that ultimately I'm trying to build a life of freedom and be able to resource my kids, my next generation, so that they are able to live a life of freedom as well. Because as we know, things out in these streets ain't getting easier. If anything, they be getting harder. So the digital climate is very unique right now as well. If the world stage was not a big enough stage for us to be concerned about, the climate online is also really unique right now. And establishing a distinct and compelling online presence, that also is a little bit kind of hairy. You got marketing bros and business gurus who want to sell you courses and tell you how easy it is to make $10,000 or $20,000 a month. You have people who tell you that you should just buy businesses. You got people telling you about buy real estate, and you're like, okay, I'm just trying to grow a following online. Maybe that's you, because that's me. I just have a honest business. I'm a professional service provider, and I'm not looking for all this extra mumbo jumbo. And I feel like those extra things, they give you more things to think about rather than help you and resource you to take action and execute. So here's what it really comes down to. There's a difference between a corporate brand and a personal brand. A corporate brand has a logo, it has a tagline, it has brand guideline. A personal brand is something a little bit more in tune with their skills, their passion, their value, their story. It has a very strong connection with humans because the personality of the other human is at play. And for you to identify if a personal brand can help your business, which I believe it can, if anything, it adds. I think by doing all of these other, what I call distractionary types, digital presence, tricks, these are typically all the ads you see before YouTube videos, at least on my YouTube, feed when I'm trying to watch YouTube video. Buy this software. This is how you do SaaS. Do a course. I can make you $20,000 a month. Those things get in the way of your personal brand. And I would highly suggest for people to be wary of people telling you how easy it is and how fast they can get you 30 leads in your email. But also, sometimes it's actually just a simple consistency game. You eventually could see some result. There is a little bit of luck. You never know when the right thing's gonna hit. There's no real formula. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. Don't take the bait on all that easy stuff. Be true to yourself. Have a great story and brand message in terms of your personal brand, and just lock in and be consistent. And I think that's what I'm planning on doing, and that's what I think will get me the best results on the personal side of marketing myself. A lot of times when you're talking about a corporate brand, you're talking about solutions. You're talking about cost savings, time savings. You're talking about how you can make their lives easier. And when you're thinking about a personal brand, you're thinking about the human connection, the audience, the nature of the struggle, not necessarily the struggle itself. A personal brand can do some really profound emotional relationship with an audience. This is something that is key. And a corporate brand can't do those things. And if it can't do it as effortlessly. How are we going to make this happen? This is the part that I struggle with the most. For me, I already have kind of a full-time job. I'm also a dad and a husband. But I do kind of see writing on the wall here where the influencer model is deteriorating. And you're having corporations, I think, are also going to be more inclined to hire vendors than to have really big and really expensive marketing teams. So we have this position where we can be in line with A, what our ideal customers might need in terms of marketing services for my agency, and B, there's also the side where UGC might take over influencer, and there are becoming so many influencers that their overlap in audience is going to start to become more apparent. And this is, again, speculation, but at the same time, this is how I'm feeling, and I kind of tend to trust my gut. So this is where I want to leverage my personal brand, not to say like I'm an influencer selling products for other brands, but leverage my brand, leverage who I am and my personality, which I kind of keep hidden for, I don't know, I guess it's laziness. I just don't want to deal with it. But I kind of keep hidden my personality and my true self online. I only post like about stuff that's going on in work and stuff like that. But this is where I think it's going to change. And I think if you're in the similar situation as me, where you're an agency owner or a business owner, you kind of want to make sure you're future-proofing yourself. You need to have your own. You need to have your own online presence. You need to have a presence that people understand who you are and what your unique story is. I can't identify this enough. Treat your personal brand like a corporate brand in the sense of doing that market research and really understanding what your core message is. This is where I am right now. I'm kind of piecing together, these are the most important things I want to make sure that are being said about me online, so that when I pivot to an additional show, or I want to launch a course, or I want to do anything else, all they need to know is that Bart Anestin is involved. If they don't need to understand anything else about me but me being there. And it's not a big of a jump for my audience. If it was the business, Creative Partner Studios, this is where it becomes a little bit more challenging because they don't know me. So when I launch another product or do another thing, they first have to get to know me because all they know is the business, and the business is bigger than me, to then make the leap to understand what the next thing that I'm doing is. So I want to educate my audience. I want to make sure that I'm staying in constant connection with them so that they catch the vision of who I am and what I am, all that kind of stuff. And again, shout outs. This is, I'm very fortunate. I have somebody who helps me with content and writing. This is Amanda. She's dope. I know that there's going to be more involved with this content side of the business than what we originally thought 2 years ago when I first hired Amanda. Is becoming more and more a part of who I am, and even closer than what the agency is now. This is becoming way closer. So I want to leverage user-generated content, but I don't want to be online hacking other products or services. I want to understand where my audience is and be able to have that type of dialogue. And there's also the leadership side, right? There's insights and learning that I'm doing that I think I've been able to amass through experience, and this is kind of a way for me to share that as well. You can probably piece together where I'm going with this. I'm not fully saying it because I don't have a timeline yet, and I think it'll be irresponsible, and I'm not very good with timelines, but you can kind of see where things are headed here with me. If anything, we are pushing ourselves to get certain things done in the next 2 months to make sure websites are appropriately filled and represent what I need them to represent, making sure our new agency website is ready to launch by fall. We're putting pieces in place to start a different type of engine to produce content, not just for the agency, but for a personal brand, my own. With that information, I think number one, like I mentioned 2 weeks ago, which was the last solo episode, I've given myself a little bit of a break and not been hard on myself, because I think I constantly am hard on myself. I'm kind of that guy who's always thinking about what I should be doing and kind of beating myself for it. But I want to be able to unleash my personal identity online through ideas, through content. And I think it's just a new skill that I have to push myself to do. I think it'll provide an additional layer of autonomy and financial security that a business owner cannot innately have, being in the shadows. Okay, I really hope this has been clear, if anything, or affirming if you are kind of in the same position and you're trying to figure out what exactly do I need to do. If you don't take anything from this podcast, harness storytelling. Educate your audience, stay in constant communication with them, inspire them with thought leadership, and showcase your personal side. I think these things outweigh the benefits, because there are benefits to a corporate brand, outweigh a corporate brand in a way that, I don't know, I think it's more genuine, it's more authentic, and the more we get these AI generated whatevers, and the more we have quote unquote aliens among us, I think that there's more of a chance for us to rise to the top by having true meaning and true stories to share. And authenticity is so important. And I think it is a God-given gift to have that connection with another person. So as much as AI can help us and, ChatGPT or whatever, or even, I don't want to keep pushing out aliens, but I just think it's funny that it's in the news, or even extraterrestrial beings being among us, there is something that is unique to the human race. And I think that's going to rise above the top. And I think there's a way for us to be savvy and make money and leverage this connection in a more organic way than something that's sleazy and very scammy marketing type. All right, I'm done venting. This has been the therapy session of the More Life podcast. Sorry. This has been the More Life podcast, guys. I can't wait for you guys to listen to next week's. Hopefully you've already listened to Marquis' episode last week, because man, did we ever have fun. All right, I'm done. I've been Bart. Peace out.